Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about something that's honestly a little bit spooky and confusing, and it's a topic that a lot of people struggle to even define. Have you ever felt like you're walking on eggshells around someone? Like no matter what you do, you just can't get it right? Or maybe you find yourself constantly second-guessing your own memory and feelings. If any of that resonates with you, you might be dealing with something called narcissistic abuse. And here's the thing about it. It's not always easy to see. It's often subtle, insidious, and it can leave you feeling completely confused and alone. Narcissistic abuse can make you question your own sanity, your own worth, and your own reality. It's a kind of emotional manipulation that gets under your skin and stays there, leaving you feeling like a shadow of your former self. But don't worry, because you're not alone and you've come to the right place. Today, in just under 10 minutes, we're going to break down every single sign of narcissistic abuse. By the end of this video, you'll have the clarity and the tools you need to not only identify these patterns, but to start taking back control of your life. This isn't about blaming anyone. It's about empowerment. It's about giving you the language to name what you've been feeling and the knowledge to move forward. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's get into it. 1. Gaslighting. All right, let's start with what is probably the most confusing and damaging tactic a narcissist can use: gaslighting. The term gaslighting comes from a 1944 movie where a husband manipulates his wife into thinking she's going insane by making small changes in her environment and denying them. In real life, it's exactly the same. Gaslighting is when a person makes you doubt your own perception, your memories, and your sanity. Imagine this. You're sitting with your partner and you bring up an argument from last week. You remember them saying something hurtful, but when you mention it, they look at you with a blank face and say, "That never happened. You're imagining things." Or they'll say, "You're being way too sensitive. It was just a joke." They might even twist the story around completely and say, "No, what happened was you were the one who started yelling." The goal of this is to dismantle your sense of reality. Over time, you start to believe their version of events instead of your own. You start thinking, maybe I am crazy. Maybe I am too sensitive. This constant questioning of yourself is exhausting and can completely erode your self-confidence. If you ever find yourself thinking, "Am I losing my mind after a conversation?" that's a huge red flag. That is gaslighting. It's a slow, steady erosion of your trust in yourself, and it's one of the most effective tools a narcissist has. They need you to feel unstable and unsure so they can maintain control. 2. Emotional manipulation. Next up is something that often goes hand in hand with gaslighting. This is the narcissist's way of controlling your emotions to get what they want. They know what buttons to push, and they use them to keep you off balance. This can show up in a few different ways. First, there's the blame game. A narcissist will rarely, if ever, take responsibility for their actions. If you confront them about something they did wrong, they'll turn it back on you. For example, you might say, "I'm upset you didn't call me back." And they'll respond with, "Well, if you weren't so needy, I wouldn't have felt the need to ignore your call." Suddenly, you're the one apologizing for being needy when you were the one who was hurt. They're masters at deflecting and projecting their own faults onto you. Then there's the silent treatment. This is a tool used to punish you and make you feel invisible. It's a way of saying, "You don't matter enough for me to even acknowledge your existence." This isn't just a brief moment of being quiet. It can last for hours or even days, leaving you desperate for their attention and validation. It's a form of emotional control designed to make you bend to their will. The silence is deafening, and it's designed to make you feel like you have no value until they decide to restore it. This tactic is so damaging because it plays on our deepest fear of being abandoned and unworthy. 3. Pathological lying. Our next red flag is pathological lying. And this isn't just your normal run-of-the-mill lie. A narcissist's lies are often told to maintain their false image and to manipulate a situation to their advantage. They will lie about small things and big things, and they'll do it with such conviction that you'll have a hard time not believing them. A narcissist lies to create a narrative where they are always the hero, the victim, or the most important person in the room. They might tell an elaborate story about a past achievement or exaggerate their success to make themselves look better. The scariest part is that they often believe their own lies. It's not just a conscious choice. It's a way of life for them, a fundamental part of their false reality. This constant deception can make you feel like you're living in a fantasy world and can completely destroy your ability to trust them. You start to feel like you can't believe anything they say, which makes it impossible to have a healthy, stable relationship. This creates a constant sense of unease and instability in your life.
4. Lack of empathy. This one is perhaps the most fundamental characteristic of a narcissist. They have a profound lack of empathy, which means they simply can't put themselves in your shoes and understand your feelings. It's not that they don't care, it's that they are fundamentally incapable of connecting with your emotional experience. For example, you might be going through a tough time. Maybe you lost a job or a family member is sick. You go to them for comfort, but they immediately turn the conversation back to themselves. They might say, "Oh, that's nothing. I had a much worse week," or they'll get bored and change the subject. They can't feel your pain, so it's not real to them. This can leave you feeling incredibly isolated and emotionally starved. When you're with the narcissist, your pain and your feelings simply don't exist in their world. This emotional void is deeply painful because it makes you feel like your existence is only valuable in relation to how it serves them. They are not a safe space for you to be vulnerable, and that can lead to a lot of bottled-up pain and loneliness. 5. Love bombing and devaluation. Narcissistic abuse often follows a predictable cycle, and it almost always starts with something called love bombing. In the beginning, the narcissist will shower you with attention, affection, gifts, and compliments. It's intense, it's fast, and it feels amazing. They might tell you they've never met anyone like you, that you're their soulmate, or that you complete them. It feels like you found the perfect person, and it's designed to get you hooked. But as soon as you are, the second phase begins. Devaluation. This is where they start to pull away and criticize you. The compliments disappear, and they start pointing out all your flaws. They might say things like, "You've changed," or "You're not as fun as you used to be." This sudden shift is jarring and confusing. You'll work harder and harder to get that love-bombing feeling back, but it's a game you can never win. This cycle keeps you trapped, always chasing the version of them you fell in love with. The love-bombing phase is a trap, a way to make you believe in a fantasy so that you'll tolerate the reality of the abuse that follows. It's designed to make you feel like if you just try harder, you can return to that perfect, magical time. And finally, once the narcissist has gotten everything they can from you, your energy, your love, your resources, they will move on to the discarding phase. This can be sudden and brutal. They might simply ghost you, end the relationship with no explanation, or find a new supply and abandon you entirely. It feels like you've been thrown away like trash, and it is devastating. The discard is a final act of control, a way of showing you that you are meaningless to them once you no longer serve a purpose. There's no closure, no explanation, just a complete and utter void. This is perhaps the most painful part of the cycle because it confirms all the doubts and fears they've been planting in your mind all along. It's designed to make you feel like you are unlovable and worthless. So, there you have it. 6 major signs of narcissistic abuse. I know this can be a lot to process, especially if you're seeing yourself in these examples. But remember, the purpose of this video isn't to diagnose anyone. It's simply to help you identify these patterns so you can protect yourself and heal. If you're in a situation like this, please know that you are not alone. There are resources out there to help you, and the first step is always recognizing what's happening. Your feelings are valid, Your reality is real, and your sanity is not up for debate. This is your sign to trust your gut feeling and start your journey towards healing. It's about giving yourself permission to feel what you feel and to create a safe space for yourself away from the chaos and confusion of narcissistic abuse. Remember that healing is a journey, not a destination. It's about rediscovering who you were before the abuse began and learning to love and trust yourself again. It won't be easy, but it is absolutely possible. If you want to dive deeper into any of these signs, or maybe explore how to begin the healing process after narcissistic abuse, let me know in the comments below. I'll be right here with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.